Hello all and welcome to today's video. My name is John McFall and I want to welcome you to the McFallRI channel where I teach you how to make $25 to $30 an hour doing food delivery, and I also teach you how to make online income. In today's video, I kind of want to talk to you about creating your own stacked orders. We get a lot of stacked orders on the platforms on DoorDash, on Uber Eats, and on GrubHub. When they are really busy, they will send us more than one order at a time. Most of the time it's 2 orders. Very rarely they will send you 3 orders or more, but there are times when they are really busy that they will send you more than one order to pick up and deliver to customers when you're out there doing food delivery to take care of all of the orders that they have. Well, I take this approach when it comes to multi-apping, and I take more orders because I take orders on DoorDash and Uber Eats and GrubHub sometimes at the same time and create my own stacked orders, and I want to talk to you about it today in today's video. Before we get into the topic, I do want to remind you that down here in my description I have some great tools for you. The one I want to talk to you about is my metric spreadsheet. If you haven't downloaded it yet, I do not know what you're waiting for. I'm going to throw it up here on the screen real quick so you guys can take a quick look at it. If you look at the left hand side, you'll see that I always put my start time and my end time. This gives me the total time that I've worked. I also put in the miles, and then if you look to the right, you'll see that for each individual app I put the time that I worked, the dollars that I made, along with the number of deliveries. Look at the bottom then and you'll see that it calculates out what your average dollar per hour, dollar per mile, along with your average per delivery. If you want to know how well you're doing when you're out doing food delivery on average so that you can see where you need to improve, it starts by keeping track of your numbers. So head down into my description and go grab a free copy for yourself. And with that, let's get into the topic. So the first thing that I really want to address is kind of the elephant in the room when it comes to me talking about multi-apping and talking about taking orders on more than one platform on a time. I've done a number of videos on multi-apping, and I've had people that have left comments, not a lot, but I've had people that have left me comments that kind of are negative about me taking stacked orders on different platforms, telling me that number one, you shouldn't take orders on different platforms because you're going to be running extremely late and you're going to be delivering cold food, and just kind of negative friction around the fact that I multi-app and take orders on different platforms at the same time. The one thing I want to say about it is the only reason that I thought about doing this in the first place is because of the apps and what they taught me about what they do. Again, I'm going to go back to what I said when I started a video, that these apps have absolutely no problem throwing more than one order on you at a time. And the platforms, a lot of times I get orders from the same restaurant delivering 2 people. Other times I get 2 pickups from 2 different restaurants. And then when it comes to the deliveries, there are times where I deliver in the same neighborhood, maybe a couple of houses apart, or the apartment complex. I'll go to 2 different apartments in the same apartment complexes. However, most of the time when I get stacked orders from these platforms, they send me to 2 different restaurants that are sometimes miles apart. And when I pick up those orders, the first order is delivering here, and then the second order is delivering here, let's say 7 or 8 miles away from that first drop. So when people say negative things about me multi-apping and taking orders on more than one platform, saying that I'm doing something wrong because the pickups are far apart, the deliveries are far apart, I'm delivering cold food and I shouldn't do it, I'm going to call bullshit on it, because I'm doing nothing other than what the apps do on their own platforms when they give me a stacked order in the first place. So I have no issue taking orders on more than one platform, picking up from the same restaurant or from two different restaurants and delivering either in the same neighborhood or same apartments, or delivering maybe 1 or 2 miles apart from the deliveries that I'm taking. So as far as people complaining about me taking stacked orders, I don't see any problem with it at all, and my food is just as warm as when I get a stacked order, because I put my food into a hot bag so it gets to the customer pretty much as warm as I got it. So that's the first thing I want to say is, for those people that are negative about it, stop taking stacked orders on one app if this is kind of the way you feel. So when I create my own stacked orders on DoorDash, on Uber Eats, and on GrubHub, I really take a look at a couple of different things when I'm deciding on the orders to take. The first thing I take a look at is, where am I picking up from? Are the restaurants really close to each other? This is a huge factor when I'm creating my own stacked orders, because I want to pick up orders either from the same restaurant, or I want to pick up orders from restaurants that are kind of right next to each other. And when I get an order on one platform and then I get another order on another platform, one of the biggest things that I do to keep myself within the time that the apps expect is, I do not confirm that I've picked up either of the orders until I have both of them. In other words, if I'm picking up from the same restaurant, if I have an order on, let's say, GrubHub and Uber Eats, I will wait till I get both of those orders before I confirm on both of the apps that I've actually got the order. Another reason that I try to get orders at restaurants that are really close to each other is for the same reason, because I will pick up an order for one of the platforms, I will go next door to the restaurant, pick up the order for the other platform, and then again, I will hit confirm on both of them. That starts the timer when I get both orders. The second most important thing when it comes to multi-apping and taking orders on two platforms is this. When I get two orders on two different platforms, I always make sure that when I look at the drop locations, I always make sure that the drops are going to be in the same general area, or when I get the first order, I can drop it off on the way to drop off that second order, so that I'm not going out of my way to take the orders to the customers, so I can get it done as quickly as possible. So I always make sure when I am multi-apping and taking orders on more than one platform, the drop-off location is instrumental in how I decide what orders to take. So always make sure, if you're doing this, that you either take orders that you're dropping off one on the way to the second one, or you're taking orders that are typically within about a mile or two of each other, so you're not going so far out of your way that it's going to take you a very long time to get there. The third most important thing that I do when I collect stacked orders from different platforms is I look at the time that the apps expect the orders to be delivered. When you get a request from especially DoorDash, they tell you that it is expected to be delivered by a certain time. Sometimes when they send me an order, I literally have enough time to pick up the order and drive right to that customer and drop it off to be within the time that the app expects. However, a lot of the times I have an extra, maybe 10 or sometimes 15 minutes from the time that I pick up that order to when they expect it to be dropped off. In other words, I pick up the order and I have, let's say 20 minutes before it's supposed to be dropped off according to the app. So I have a lot of extra time. Let's say it's a 5-minute drop to, or a 5-minute drive to drop that order. I've got a lot of extra time in there to get that order to the customer, to be on time according to what the app expects. So I always take a look at the time, and if I don't have enough time when I accept an order to drop off a second order, I don't take more than one order. I only do that one order. However, if I see I have enough time, I will look for other orders that I can grab that are, again, within the time constraints, close restaurant, and either on the route or in the same general area for the drop-off. So time is a huge factor when it comes to grabbing orders on more than one platform. The last thing I want to say about it is getting the food warm to the customers. I carry in my car 4 hot bags. I always have enough hot bags in my car, so when I am multi-apping and taking orders on more than one app, I always put the food into a hot bag. A lot of times the orders are small, so I will actually put both orders in one bag so that the heat from both of the orders can keep each other warm when I am delivering it. So making sure that the food gets to the customer as hot as I can is something that's very instrumental in being successful at multi-apping and taking orders on more than one platform at a time. So if you are going to do this, then you always need to make sure that you put the orders in a hot bag, which you should be doing anyway, so that you can get the food to the customer as quickly as possible. I also want to point out that when it comes to these food delivery platforms, I have never had a negative email, a negative text, a negative call, a deactivation, or anything like that. And if you look at Uber Eats here, my ratings are really, really high. If you look at DoorDash, my ratings are very, very high. So I am doing multi-apping the right way. I am picking up orders on multiple platforms the right way, and this is how I am successful at making that $25 to $30 an hour. I always recommend, if you are new to multi-apping, take baby steps and don't take too much on at one time and bite off more than you can handle. So get into it slowly and start to learn how to do it, and then as you get better at it, you can take a little bit more risk, which will give you a bigger return and get you more money into your pocket. So I hope I taught you a little bit about multi-apping and taking orders on more than one platform. Again, I personally do not find anything wrong with it because I do nothing other than what the apps do when they send you stacked orders. I just make my own stacked orders on multiple platforms at the same time. So if you are interested in doing it, try it out and see how it works for you in your marketplace. I'm going to tell you the first time that I did this, when I decided to take orders on more than one platform, I was working DoorDash and I was working Uber Eats. I got requests from a restaurant that was right next to the other restaurant, and when I picked up the order, I realized that I made a huge mistake because I did not look at the drop-off locations, and literally the one drop-off location was way over here and the second one was way over here, and I was literally 20 minutes between the first drop and the second drop, and probably about 13 miles apart. I had a freeway to go down, so I was able to get there as quickly as I could. However, when you are looking at doing this, don't make the mistake I did the first time I did it and grab orders that are dropping off in completely opposite directions. So that will really hurt you when you're out here multi-apping, and it could cause you some problems. So with that, I want to remind you, head down into my description, go grab a copy of my metric spreadsheet. I've got some other great tools in my description, like the Beans app and SimplyWise and QuickBooks Self-Employed. These are tools that I use on a daily and a weekly basis when I'm out here doing food delivery. Also would like to ask you to like this video and to subscribe to my channel. Finally, I want to say I hope that you are out there getting the money that you and your family deserve. And with that, I want to say thanks.